Hey there, everyone. My name's Lisa Ann. I'm the author of Nail Care Nightmares, The Truth Behind the Beauty, and I want to finally share something with you. You're going to notice that I'm recording this on my Lisa on Purpose page, and I'm doing that on purpose because, well, Nail Care Nightmares is one of the many things that I do. And this is such an on-purpose thing that I wanted to share it on this page, not just my Nail Care Nightmares business type account. But I want to tell you, after all of the years that I have alluded to it, that there was a story about how pregnancy and acrylic nails even happened. I wanted to share that with you now. Yesterday, I was on my Nail Care Nightmares page, and a young lady, 1 year ago, almost exactly a year ago, when she saw a post that I had dropped about pregnancy and acrylic nails, and I said, one day I'll tell you how the chapter even came about. And she kind of was a little snarky, and she says, so why don't you just tell us already? I said, oh, well then, guess I'll tell you already. So, to the point. 1997, things went crazy. It was bad, and I said in church one night, Lord, I'll do whatever you want me to do if you'll just make it better. Well, my family and I decided we were going to move to, I didn't decide it, but it was decided we're going to move to Utah. So we go to Utah. Things started happening, and I found myself getting involved in the nail care industry. And the reason that happened is because I found out there was no licensing in Utah. And instead of taking a test to do hair, get my cosmetology license, I said, no test for nails? No licensing for nails? What? What the heck is that? Another story. But so that I didn't have to do or take a test, because I hate tests, I started doing nails. And I got a full book really fast. And one thing led to another, and I started teaching cut to the chase, fast forward. God started giving me things, information and all this stuff, and he would do it at about 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, the thing is, I don't get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's not me, never has been, except for when he is going to give me something and a piece of information. So this one day in particular, it was 4 o'clock. It was cozy. It was warm. We had a waterbed back then, and I can't even begin to tell you how cozy I was. And I didn't have many cozy moments at that season of my life. So I was really basking in this glory. And I wasn't going to get up. But then I realized I need to check the time, see what time it is. And I looked at the clock. It was 4 o'clock. I knew that I knew that I knew that I knew. God had something for me, and my laziness was about ready to put me in a position where I probably wasn't going to get this thing that he had for me. So I sat up on the edge of my bed, and I literally begged God to give me a second chance, to give me whatever it was he wanted to give me. I felt the need to go right. And so I put my robe on, I put my slippers on, went down to my dining room table, and I sat there. I sat there with this stack of notepaper and my pencil that I always worked with, and I just waited. And I kept saying, God, please forgive me. Please give me another chance. And then all of a sudden, there was nothing there. And I don't know how long it took me to write it. I have absolutely no recollection of writing pregnancy and acrylic nails. But all of a sudden, I look down, and there are a massive amount of papers in front of me. I put them together, I look at it, and I'm tripping out going, what the heck is this? And I read it, and this is pregnancy and acrylic nails. So I had a friend who was a doctor. His name was Dr. Torgelson, and he worked in the same building. There was a lot of suites in this building, kind of like the Sola Salon is now, sort of thing. But there was a bunch of different businesses. But he has his office in this building, right down the hallway from mine. And I knew that I was going to take this to him. So I went knocking on his door, and I said, hey, Dr. Torgelson, I need help. He says, what's the matter? I said, well, and I told him what happened. And he kind of had this little smile, and he said, okay. I said, I just need you to read this. I need you to tell me if I'm on time or if I'm losing my coconut. And he said, okay, let me read it. And he says, but from what you've said, it sounds like an inspired reading to me, or writing to me, Lisa. But I'll let you know. I said, okay. So I went back down to my suite, and here I am just doing my thing, doing my client's nails. A couple days later, I come to work, and I see a little Post-it, yellow Post-it note on my door, just the little ones. And it says, come see me. So I thought, oh my gosh, one of two things is going to happen. He's going to tell me I'm out of my ever-loving mind, or I've got something. He opens his door. If I knock on it, I said, well, he said, come on in. I'm like, okay. He's going to tell me I lost it, whatever. And he handed me my papers back, and he said, do not change one word, not one. I said, really? He goes, Lisa, you were right on time. And I am here to tell you, this is a message from God to anybody who is in this situation. This is an inspired writing. Do not change one word. So my friends, I'm here to tell you, that is exactly how pregnancy and acrylic nails happened. This is why I am so passionate about it, because this isn't from me, Lisa Ann. I want to write this and I just want you to listen. This is literally, whether you can handle this or not, this is a message from God. If you or anyone working with acrylic nail products, you need to pay attention. You need to read this chapter so that you can be well informed of exactly how overexposing yourself while you're pregnant can, in fact, harm your unborn baby. Now, I have had my book reviewed by some of the biggest people in the industry, and do you know, from the very publication, the first time, which is almost 20 years ago, to this current date, not one person, whether it's a nail tech, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they are in the world, and there are experts. Not one person has given my book a bad review. Not one. No one can say that it's not true, because it is. Overexposure to the acrylic nail chemicals can harm your unborn baby. And I tell you, okay, so it's written exactly how it can happen. Pregnancy and Acrylic Nails, Chapter 1, Nail Care Nightmares, The Truth Behind the Beauty. The only thing I've ever been really passionate about is helping people. I'm not passionate about doing nails. I am not passionate about nail art, all that. I've done all that stuff. I've been an educator for some of the biggest companies in the world, really. And my passion really is this. This is it, man. This is the story. This is how it happened. And I'm right here. You all can say whatever you want to say. If you are a believer, I am going to ask you to help me get this information out there. Because I promise you, there are women who have been pregnant, who have had miscarriages. There are situations where things didn't have to go the way that they went. Now, when you say, where's your studies, where's your information, where's your proof? Well, you know what? When God's ready to bring that proof out, he's going to bring the proof out. He's going to bring the studies out. They're there. I don't have them. It's not currently yet my job to have those things. It's the people who are doing the studies, who are doing the testing. If they want, they're going to let you know. She's not up in the night. She's not crazy. She's not losing her mind. Anyway, here's what I can also say. When I start twisting my words and running off at the mouth like I am right now, that's my sign that I'm done. The message has been delivered. Pregnancy and Acrylic Nails, Chapter 1, Nail Care Nightmares, The Truth Behind the Beauty. The link is in my bio, no matter where I drop this video. Take care, God bless, and I welcome every single one of your comments. Let's talk.